If someone has a personal vendetta against someone, it basically means that they want revenge on that said person. And you better believe there has been plenty of examples throughout the history of the NBA. Instances where a player seeks revenge on another particular player. Trust me, this is gonna be good, so sit back and enjoy the video. When a player gets drafted into the league, it usually takes time for them to decide who they like and who they don't like. But it looks like Iman Shumpert had a vendetta against Paul Pierce way before he even played in the NBA. The story goes that when Shumpert was a little kid, his aunt surprised him with courtside seats to a game between the Boston Celtics and his hometown team, Chicago Bulls. And when halftime arrived, Shumpert stuck his hand out for the players to give him a high five as they made their way to the locker room, just like any kid would do in that situation. But when Paul Pierce approached Shumpert's hand, he just straight up ignored him, completely leaving him hanging, which caused Shumpert to hold a grudge against Pierce for many years.
I just remember having like my tears in my eyes. I was so excited. And halftime come. And I reached my hand out like everybody else. And everybody dapped me. Paul Pierce comes by. He ain't dapped me. And he sort of like looked at me wrong. Like, he just looked at me mean. And my first impression of Paul Pierce was, I was like, when I get here, like, I got something for you. Like, for you specifically.
And sure enough, he would ultimately get his revenge in 2014, just like he said he would.
We had earlier in that first half, a nice decision there by Pierce.
Shumpert puts Pierce on the floor. Iman Shumpert.
It looks like Shumpert never let that go. I mean, just listen to his response when a reporter asked him how he felt about Paul Pierce.
Okay, what comes to mind when I say Paul Pierce?
I'm sick of him talking.
He's clearly not too fond of Pierce. Maybe if he would have just dapped him up that night when Shumpert was younger, then he wouldn't have had a reason to do this. When Chris Webber began his NBA career in 1993, he was fortunate enough to face his idol only a few games into his rookie season, Charles Barkley. And although Barkley was one of Webber's favorite players growing up, he still had a job to do, and that was to destroy anyone in his path, no matter if they were his idol.
Straight down to Webber, he turns, look out behind the back, and the step of the foul. What a play by Webber!
But what he didn't have to do was team up with Nike and make a freaking commercial about it.
Yeah, didn't you see Chris dunk on Charles Barkley? Catch it like this, around the back.
Barkley coming.
So he's Barkley trying to block it. Oh,
wait, he's too high. He's too high.
And then what did Barkley say?
He said, I don't believe in role models, but you mine, man.
That was pretty ballsy of Webber to make that commercial when there was still the potential of having to face him in the playoffs. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. Chris Webber and the Golden State Warriors would match up against the Phoenix Suns in the first round of the 1994 NBA playoffs, just a few months after that commercial. And you know Charles was licking his chops. Not only did he sweep the Warriors that series, but in that closing Game 3, he would drop 56 points on them, putting an end to Webber's season.
Oh my goodness.
But again, you're getting back on defense. I do like that. Getting dunked on is not a bad thing if you get.
Everybody gets dunked on at one point. Hey, Chris, don't you ever make no commercial. You and Nike make commercial. I had to give you 56 in the playoffs.
Oh, you gave him 56?
Yeah, 56.
I do
Ooh,
56? How
yeah,
ancient.
He made a commercial making fun of me in a barbershop.
In Game 1 of Round 1 in the 2013 NBA playoffs between the Warriors and Nuggets, JaVale McGee hammers it home on Andrew Bogut.
For that field goal maker. 7 on the shot clock for the Nuggets. McGee! Oh! What a slam! He'll bring a little heat when he's ready.
It's ridiculous how athletic this guy is. Look at the angle at which he comes down.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe JaVale McGee posted this on Instagram soon after that dunk. Quote, "When you having a good dream." A video implying that he dreams about that dunk he put on Bogut. Well, since this was a playoff series they were playing in, Andrew Bogut didn't have to wait very long to get him back.
JaVale McGee right there with the right hand. It has this building buzzing. Honda, great drive.
Here's another pair of players who also had themselves a little dunk off. Remember this monster dunk by DeMar DeRozan over Timothy Mozgov?
21 points good early on and overtime. The Denver Nuggets, DeMar DeRozan throws it down. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, how many of you guys actually know that that was revenge for what Mozgov did to him just 2 years prior?
You right now early for Ed Davis. And this will certainly be a test. Mozgov, man. Count it. And a foul.
This is a tough kid.
It's hard to tell, but if you look closely, the ball actually hits DeRozan right in the face after that dunk as well, which was probably part of the reason his dunk was so vicious.
One more time, come on, man, here it is. Emphatic.
Here we have Patrick Ewing blocking Michael Jordan's shot under the basket.
Jordan is blocked. Out of bounds in Chicago.
Now you know Jordan took even the slightest thing personal, and I'm not kidding when I say that he got revenge in literally the next possession. After that Ewing block, they then came down the other end of the court and this happened.
And Ewing wants the ball and gets it. Bad out of bounds. Woo!
We've all seen this MJ block countless amount of times, and now you know the small backstory behind it. Another Michael Jordan revenge block occurred in 2002 when he was a member of the Washington Wizards, and it was against none other than his former team. As you can see, Ron Artest blocks Jordan's shot, but instead of giving up on the play, Jordan races down the court and gets a block of his own.
Artest. Michael blocked by Artest. Oakley to Mercer. Mercer on the run. Oh, my God, what a play!
He ended up blocking Ron Mercer's shot, which I'm sure he'd rather have blocked the other Ron shot, who had just blocked his the play before. But good enough. The way he pinned the ball to the backboard still has to be one of the sickest looking blocks I've ever seen to this day. In a game between the Heat and Sixers in February of 2008, Dwayne Wade and Rodney Carney had themselves a anything you can do, I can do better moment. Rodney Carney would be the one to draw first blood.
A few turnovers for the opponent.
Oh, Lewis Williams. Oh my! Rodney Carney throwing it down from way back. A play initiated by the quickness.
Now fast forward to the fourth quarter, D. Wade would retaliate.
New York Knicks go.
Wade, what a dunk, and the foul on Carney. And Dwayne Wade staring down Carney, who had blocked his shot recently. Wade saying, take that, young man.
Remember what I said earlier, Eric. Carney dunked on Wade. You knew Wade would get him back if he got the opportunity. We said that way back when in the first half. And now Wade goes up. Wade doesn't care if he gets the tech right here. He likes staring him down.
Judging by that intense stare down D. Wade gave Carney, you can tell he was not happy about getting postered by him earlier in the game. In early 2013, Ish Smith literally jumps over John Wall as he fell for the pump fake, but quickly recovers just in time to stuff his shot. That's definitely an underrated play in my opinion, but in the second half of the game, the way John Wall responded might have been even better.
Wall crossover on Ish Smith a couple of times, and a great pass inside for Seraphin. Wall with 5 assists in the game, none of them better than this one on a great pass to Seraphin.
Under control, crossover, then behind the back.
In the third quarter of a 2004 preseason game between the Sonics and Lakers, Ray Allen stripped the ball away from Kobe and then went in for a layup. But Kobe caught up to him and proceeded to spike the ball out of there, as Allen would go straight to the floor, with Kobe standing over him while glaring. Now you may be thinking, how is that even a revenge play? I mean, what is Ray Allen supposed to do, not steal the ball? Well, the thing is, around that same time, Ray Allen called Kobe selfish, making that block that much more satisfying. It was clear that he wanted to send Allen a message. Kobe has another spot on this list for what he did to Steve Nash in 2006. As some of you guys might know, many people, including Kobe himself, strongly believed that he deserved the MVP award that season over Steve Nash. He obviously didn't get it, but at least this ferocious dunk he had on Nash in the playoffs that year made him feel a little bit better about it.
And the foul. Well, how serious was that? And the foul. Kobe will go to the line.
We've all seen the clip where Shaq destroys an entire basket, but did you know that he actually planned on doing that going into it? All because of what Derek Coleman did to him previously.
Shaq, did anything embarrassing ever happen in your career?
I always took pride in being the big man that never got dunked on. So one time in New Jersey, because I'm from Newark, New Jersey, in front of all the fans, playing against Derek Coleman. So Derek has me on the block, and he takes one dribble, two dribbles, drop step, hit me with a little ball, and dunked it. And I didn't really know he dunked it until I came down and the ball hit me. And then when I turned around to him, he did me like that in front of everybody. And I looked up at my mom and dad, and they one time in New Jersey, Derek Coleman dunked on me. I'll let you show that. So I said to myself, next time we play Jersey, I'm gonna rip the damn backboard off.
And last but not least, we have that time when Hakeem Olajuwon got a chase down block on Kevin Johnson in a 1994 regular season game.
KJ and
That block was pretty nasty, but when the playoffs came around, Johnson would get him back 10 times nastier.
This series, 9 in the quarter for Ellie and in your face, Kevin Johnson. Oh my!
When I dunked on him, I was all excited and I was kind of, you know, you're in another place at that point. Your emotions are taking over and you're just like, yes, yes, going all crazy. And all of a sudden I'm at half court. Like, so I dunked on him on this end of the basket and I ended up at half court. And I'm like, how did I get way down here? All of a sudden I see this big towering shadow coming at me and I'm looking. I'm like, oh my goodness, what's he gonna do? He goes, little man, you got me, little man. That was good, little man. That was a nice dunk. Don't bring it in again, though, little man. I said, I only needed to do it once. It's on film, so I'm not coming back in there anymore.
Alright, I hope you enjoyed this small collection of NBA vendettas. Let me know some others down in the comments below. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.